Hello again, everybody, and welcome to episode 61 of the Board Game Nerds podcast. I'm your host, Nick, and with me today is my co-host, Ayub.
Hello, hello, hello.
Ayub, man. Last Friday, I was invited to a game night that I couldn't make it there. Why did you play? I'm so jealous. Let me know.
I was so sad. We were supposed to, of course, play Goa, but since we were only 3 and I really wanted to play as 4, we went in another direction. So we looked at a long list and I asked Karin and Ulrik what we should play and options, and we ended up playing Natera.
Oh,
So that was very nice.
Was it your third time playing it?
Second. Yeah.
How did it feel now?
It feels pretty good.
Nice.
We'll see how good.
Yeah, because the episode, I'm just realizing now, it's top 10 N and O games.
Exactly.
This thing where we rank our highest games from each letter, and when there are not enough games from a letter, we just combine 2 letters in one, and that's what's happening today. Usually we would talk about a game before, because we are only 2 and not 3. We're not going to do that today. We're going to jump straight into the games. We're going to give you the classic 5 on the fly you've been missing in the end.
Yeah.
And before we get into, though, what we usually do in these episodes is we try and guess how many crossovers we have.
Yeah.
Have you prepared a number in your head, you?
Yes, I have.
All right, on 3.
Yes.
1, 2, 3,
4.
Okay, cool. All
right, interesting. I want to say this. I felt like there was 3 for sure, and then I felt there were 2 maybes. And then I went with, well, let's say one of the maybes maybe will go and the other one won't.
I agree 100%. I agree 100%.
All right.
How do you want to do this? You want to go first? You want me to go first?
I can go first.
All right, my friend.
My number 10 pick for this list is a game from 2015 by the notorious Alexander Pfister, Lookout Games, and also 15 other publishers, but it is the Oh My Goods game. Oh My Goods is a multi-use card game where you are trying to make a good production chain. So you will have all these cards, and you will either try and use your cards as buildings, so you pay money to play them down, and then they will require some type of input, woods, bricks, etc., etc. And then they will give you some type of output, which is just you putting the card, like some cards on top of those buildings, and they will be those resources. And then the other way you can use your cards, of course, is that they each have a resource icon on them. So it's also multi-use card games, and I really enjoy multi-use card games. I really, really just enjoy sitting down and be like, right now, I need this resource to make this turn really good, but I really wanna not waste this card to be a resource because I have a dream of building it down, you know? So I think that's really, really cool. And then they just somehow managed to make it so even the resources are just the cards as well. You just take them from the main stack, you put them on the different buildings, and on those buildings you can see the value of those resources. So the cards are actually used in 3 ways: as buildings, as resources from your hand, and resources on your buildings. I personally also like that there's a little bit of a push your luck factor to it. There are like, you flip some cards and these resources will be available for your buildings. And then you need to decide which buildings you're activating before you're flipping more cards. And you're not really sure if the building you picked, will it get enough resources and all of that. I like that it's short, and I already mentioned, I also love multi-use cards. On the downside, I think maybe sometimes the luck can be a little bit of a big factor. And then the rule about, once you played it makes sense, but the rule about the resources that are out there only goes for your input, and then you can discard some cards from your hand, but only for the other half. That's a little bit hard to then just play with new people. So it's my number 10, Oh My Goods.
Yeah, you described it perfectly. All the notes I wanted to make about this game you made. I played it a few times with you. The one thing I remember is, I think it was the first time we played it, and Chris was playing with us. And my God, oh my goodness, but the things he made, these were criminal. I mean, he made such a combos that made the game feel like, what? He's played it a million times before? What's happening here?
And also he was so excited. He was like screaming when we were flipping, yes, and stuff. And I was like,
that's a nice memory.
Yeah. So my number 10. What about you?
My number 10 is, it's an old game that very recently got re-implemented. I'm kind of obsessed with this game right now. I've only played it once. But if you want to see it, it's in our channel since yesterday.
Oh.
That is National Economy, designed by Hiroshi Nishimura and Korodu, the publisher.
Yes.
National Economy, from what I understand, and feel free to jump in and correct me here,
Yeah.
is a game that was published a few years back as 3 different games, and now this new version contains all these 3 different games, aka decks inside. And whenever you start a game, you pick one of the 3 decks, you mix it with some pre-existing cards, and then you start playing. In essence, it is a worker placement tableau building, although I haven't properly seen a person build a tableau yet, myself included. It's very strict economic game, and what I really love about this game, man, is the shared what's it called? Where the
like worker space.
yes, not the worker space, where the money go and you take from there.
The budget.
The budget. That is such a nice mechanism
Yeah.
because you pay money to do stuff, and then the money that everybody has paid, that's the only money you can take, which kind of makes sense in a way. And I really like that balance. Of course, from the playthroughs I've seen you guys play, and the solo game I played, it felt that, at least for one of the decks, some of the cards were a bit stronger than the others and impacted the game immensely if they came in early on. But apart from that, pretty neat.
Yeah.
Worker placement, simple. You have to feed your workers, aka pay money from them at the end of the round. And there's this balance that, should I try and feed them or maybe let this building go? Because if you can't feed a worker, that kind of reminded me of Moon Colony Bloodbath, where you lose the building.
Yeah.
But this time, the building, although you lose it and you lose the points, you can still use it.
Yeah.
The problem is, your opponent can use it now.
Yeah.
That's such a nice... I really want to play the game.
Yeah.
And it's only number 10 because I've only played it once, and I've seen a lot of videos. I've seen the video multiple times. I've read the rules, and now I'm just super hyped, and maybe my hype is driving it so high.
Yeah. And I mean, just from you talking about it, I'm starting to get more hype again. So yeah, really, really cool. And I don't really feel like I've seen other games having this, like the thing with the budget, and and like you mentioning, and also just that, the way it works with the cards, and pretty cool.
Pretty neat.
Nice.
Good pick up, Ayub.
All right. My next pick, my number 9, is a game from 2025 by... I tried this before, but Abraham Sanchez Hamida and Paloma J. Pascal, and from Pero Loco Games. And it is of course, Orloy, the Prague Astronomical Clock. It's number 9. I mean, it's one of, let's say, Essence most hyped games. And it looks astonishing, and it sounds so cool. And I was sure that now, after trying it a few times, it would be high on a list like this. And I do really enjoy it, but there are some stuff that I really like and some stuff that feels fine. And therefore, it doesn't do something crazy for me. So therefore, it was hard to put higher. I probably will be fine playing it when people want to play it. I don't actually see it as something that I would suggest a lot. It does cool chaining. It has a very cool system. But I think then, because they had all those cool things, the action are just like fine. Which is like, I'm doing all this cool stuff to do very, let's say, maybe basic actions. But still, the way the game works, and just like I said 10 seconds ago, the system is very cool, and I really do enjoy it. So therefore, it is on the list. But I'm also already explaining why it's not higher, since it's one of 2025's hot games. I
mean, I haven't played it. I've watched the playthrough to get ready for playing it. It looks cool. I don't know. I'm a little bit bummed hearing you talk about it like that, but my excitement still stays up.
And I mean, it can
discover it,
and it can still change. We've seen games. Let's say last year's Evolution for me, with every play it got better. So that was something. But now I'm on the fence, but it still gave some crazy stuff. And number 9 is a decent spot. So yeah,
sounds good. Orloy, I'm coming. All right, my number 9 has been called, mainly by me, but also by other people, my nemesis as a game. It's a game that I am never able to beat. It's from 2020, designed by Sergei Laget and published by GRRE Games, and that is Nidavellir. Nidavellir is a dwarf drafting game where you bid on different cards which represent dwarves of different clans, and every dwarf you collect gives you a different scoring opportunity based on its clan, aka its color. You play over the course of a few rounds, and then at the end you just count up the points, whoever has the most win. It's pretty simple, pretty straightforward. I think there is one particular color, the orange one, that is what I call a bait color, because it scores based on the number of dwarves you have times their flags. And that, in my head, sounds multiplication. It should be good. In every game I play, I just blind dive into the orange color, and I always lose. I had made a bet that once I finally get a win in this game, I will move on from it. And that happened very recently, actually. I actually won a game with 1 point. So don't get too ahead of myself. And now the native leader has moved on to a person that played and lost by 1 point and loved it. So you know what? It's yours. Deserve it. And always happy to play it. Will probably not bring it out myself, but if somebody recommends playing Nidavellir, I'm there for it, and it's my number 9.
All right, cool. Yeah, cool pick. And also an auction game, basically, in a way, right? So I'm always happy to hear either you or Ulrich liking those games. I definitely always a big fan, and I also think Nidavellir is always a blast. So yeah, cool. All right, my number 8. My number 8 lives heavily on the fact that I think it's also a very cool way they made the game. I haven't played it that much yet, and I'm not even sure it's the type of game that I normally think is an Ayub game, but I really, really, really think that it was like fun and cool to play, and I do want to play it more. And it is Nations from 2013 by Rustan Håkansson, Nina Håkansson, Einar Rosen, Robert Rosen. And yeah, I mean, like having these type of like civilization type of games is usually not my jam, but I really think it does it in a way that feels nice for Eurogamers.
You know?
Yeah. The way you build up your cards, the way they come out, oh, am I getting this now? Am I not? Playing different nations that, although, of course, feels different, are not like, oh, I need to learn a totally different asymmetrical game now. It's easy to understand what your nation does. So, yeah. So my 8th pick, quite an old game by now.
Yeah.
From 2013. So, and I mean, we have a great story about meeting the designer.
That was so cool. I mean, it's no secret that I love the game. It's no secret you probably see it later on. And it's no secret that it's my favorite Civilization game by far. So, yeah, I'm holding my thoughts on it right now. My number 8 is a game from 2018. You can hear all about it on episode 57 of our podcast, designed by Thomas Lehman and published by Rio Grande Games, and that is New Frontiers. New Frontiers is the board game version of Race for the Galaxy and a soft take on Puerto Rico. The thing is, there's this huge tableau of tiles, and then on your turn, there's a few action tiles. You select one of them and you take that action. You build worlds, you build developments, and you try and score as many. It's pretty straightforward if you've played a Galaxy game before. I think it's nice. I think it's one of the lesser games of the series for me personally. But every time I play it, if you skip the setup part, and usually I love setting up games. If I say that, then it must be really tedious. If you skip the setup part, and if you skip a little glitch we might have discovered with one of the tiles, the game feels so nice.
Yeah.
Every time there are so many different strategies you can follow. Every time you're starting a tableau will give you a different way to go towards the game. You always play on every turn. That's something I love.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think the game is pretty solid. I don't think it can go higher for me, but I think it's in a place where it's, I'm happy to play it.
Yeah.
I might even bring it out if I'm the one owning it, but just not super, super, super excited about it.
Yeah. It's my 7th pick, so almost a crossover, but yeah. And I agree with everything Nick said. I'm wondering, and maybe you have a opinion on this or not. The game is huge, especially compared to the other for the Galaxy games, right? And the tiles are big. The resources you put in the tiles are these big chunky cubes, and the game is not that heavy. But it feels nice to be like, okay, I'm flipping this big tile, I'm putting this cube on, and I'm selling it. And I'm wondering if this game were like, let's say, half in like physical size or something, if that would move a lot away from it. You feel me?
I feel you. I don't know. I'll need to think about it.
Yeah.
I don't know. What do you think? What do you have?
Yeah, I'm not sure. But I mean, if I think about that, I actually really enjoy that fact. Then naturally, it's better this way for sure.
Yeah.
Maybe the game is still, of course, good enough to I will still enjoy it without. But I really do think this tactile part of the game is actually a big factor.
I think it plays a big role. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's almost like a gimmick in a way.
Yeah.
Everything is big. There's no reason for them to be big, but
yeah,
and it feels some
exactly
chunky tiles.
And also, then that means you have your own player board. The player board have all the planets around them, spaces for them. Your development goes in the middle of your board where there's also like there's a shape for where you place them in, and it's just nice. We all played games where we're like, okay, I have these 1,000 small coins and resources. Where do I place them? I'll place them here. Oh, can you move them a bit? My resources are, but you won't have this problem in this type of game as well, right? So, but yeah, my number 7 is New Frontiers by Thomas Lehman.
Sounds good. My number 7, which is my favorite number, by the way, just mentioning it now, is a heavy game. It's a game where we have a very cool story about it. It's a game where we woke up at 7 in the morning, and I do say wake up. I did sleep early to wake up early and play this game. It's designed by Vita Lacerda, published by Eagle Gryphon Games, released on 2020, and that is Mars, of course. Personally, my favorite Lacerda game. I like heavy games. I just think the direction Vita Lacerda takes their games are a bit, not too much for me, just too much work to get the results that give me my dopamine hit. So that's why, although I've played a few of them, they're not my favorite types of game. This is an exception. This game I love. This game feels like, I don't know, one of my saddest days when we were living together is when I told you, hey man, where's on Mars? I want to play it. I sold it. I'm like, what? I felt so, what? Why is this game gone? This shouldn't be gone. If I had to point some negatives, although I don't think I've even said the positives yet, anyway, is that the solo mode was very hard for me. I just couldn't. I couldn't. I remember trying to read it one day and try and play it and sit down and go with it. I just couldn't. This is where my brain said, okay, Nick, you're not ready for this. But yeah, the game is nice. There's these two aspects of the board, and you play on either side, and thematically you are moving on or off planet. Every action feels like it's... You try to plan like a whole graph of actions, and you need to do everything in the correct order in order to get maximum results. But when you do, you feel so nice. And I think that's kind of common for a Lacerda game, that you try and chain everything together to get the best result. And I think this game does it the best out of the ones I've played, and that is my number 7 on Mars.
Yeah, it's an honorable mention for me. I think the reason why it's not on my list, I hear the things you're saying, is because when I played it, I was like, don't know what I should do, and it's not even like I don't know what I should do out of my options. I just don't see what the benefits. Yeah, sure, I got 2 resources, but is that what I should be going for? What's the plan with these? It was very like not clear that, oh, if you get this, you can get this later. If you get this, and probably with more plays that might change and stuff. But I really just feel like, and then at the end of the game, I don't know if I played good. I don't know if my opponent played good. I mean, they won, so better than me for sure, But and that was a little bit interesting. Where with Vita Lacerda's other games, I don't feel that, and so it's been easier for me to go back to them and play them more and stuff like that. So
makes sense.
But cool pick and a very cool game. Cool. So it's my number 6, and it's a game we already heard about from 2020 from Serge Laguette, and that is Nidavellir. Okay. Yeah, and I actually also started thinking about that, whether people would agree with me or not. It reminds me a little bit of Ra, with the fact that you have a specific amount of tokens that you use to bet. Almost the same, 3 or 4, right? So, and then here it's just that you are thinking ahead, right? It's blind bidding those ones and trying to be smart and see, will the other people go, I love things like this. I love things like this. The upgrading system is also really cool, of how you upgrade your bidding coins. So sometimes you might want a higher coin, using your higher coin then for getting upgraded that round, but then having lesser, like you use the high value coin that you then cannot use to bid in that round. That's such a nice little decision. Not like a huge thing that changes the game and makes it super complex, but you sit there and do like, should I make this better? No, I should. I'm thinking I actually don't care too much which card I'm picking for this row. So I could use a, let's say, very bad coin there. But anyway, yeah, it's cool. I enjoyed it a lot. So my number 6 is Nidavellir.
Yeah, those decisions you describe are what make the game interesting, I think. Yeah, exactly.
All right.
My number 6 breaks my rule a little bit. I have a rule when we make this list that I'm not allowed to put a game that I've only played once.
Okay.
And number 6 breaks it for me. And I've played this game only once. I wanted to play it ever since. It is called Obsession. From 2018, designed by Dan Halligan and published by Kayenta Games. It's a game we played together. It's a game that I've heard a lot about. And when we played it, I saw it and I'm like, you know what? I'll read it now, I'll learn it now, and we'll play it now. And we know that when you do that, usually the results are not good. And the results were not very good. But I got a scope of what this game can be on that day. And ever since then, it's been on my mind. It is in essence like a pool building game where you have these different servants that you... Man, the theme is also nice. Now that I'm talking about it, I'm getting hyped about it again. Anyway, of course, since I've only played it once, there's not many things I can tell you since I also don't have it very fresh in my memory. The one thing I have in my memory that makes it go this high is my willingness to dive back into it and play it again. I know that I didn't do the play justice. I've heard the solo mode is very good, and a lot of people that I've watched now have it in their top solo list, which is another interesting factor. It's still in the top 100 overall, so yeah, could be a good game. And yeah, I think I'm just hyped to play it again, honestly, if I'm being completely honest.
Yeah. Yeah, makes sense. And I mean, a lot of people talk highly about this game, and it deserves at least, a good fresh play.
Yeah, definitely.
Maybe a practice game before real play, whatever. But it's
Yeah.
I agree with you.
Yeah.
And I also only been in that one play that was a bit a long time ago. So I would also be very interested in trying it again. All right.
Take it away. Number 5 now, top 5.
Now we're going into the
now
top
we go,
5.
baby.
That's something. All right. So I have been over some of the, let's say, older games. And now this is quite new. This is from last year, 2024. And it's by Stan Kodonsky, which made Endless Winter and Minos. I mean, those are two games that I really, really, really like. Both top 20 games for me. And it is Nova Roma. Nova Roma is so cool. It gives me, there are other games that I like that does something similar, but the fact that you play a little game that has an interesting action selection, I really found out this year especially, I really like action selections that are does something different. It's just, I'm picking this action. No, there's a little twist or whatever, and you're picking this, you're playing this worker thing in a grid, and depending on how many of your workers or the Caesar figure there's in there, your strength is determined, and then the action to the right and the action to the top, those are the actions you're doing. That's so cool. And then it's just a lot of mini games around the board. Over here, I'm sailing out, I'm getting some stuff. Over here, I'm building buildings, and that makes me feel like I can play the game. And in one game, you cannot do everything. But in one game, maybe I did these two areas very good. And in another game, hey man, maybe I want to try this. Of course, sometimes, depending on where the other players go and stuff, you don't want to just try an action if it's weak there. But still, the fact that the game can feel different from place to place is something I like.
Nova Roma is a crazy cool game. I was really impressed by my first play of it. Of course, I've only played it once, so it's under the that I cannot put in my list. It was number 11 for anyone up there that's counting. And it's definitely something I want to try again. I will say something that we probably will not agree and will make you sad.
Okay.
I think this game killed Trajan for me.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I think this way that the game makes the mini games work, I think that's what I want.
Yeah.
I think Trajan is just, but of course, personal opinion.
Yeah, and I mean, it's no secret that I love Trajan, and they do something similar with having many different mini games around. So, but yeah, that's my pick.
All right, let me dive into my number 5. And my number 5, I'll go ahead and say it, unpopular opinion, I don't think it's the greatest of games.
Okay.
But I think it's a game that I love playing. And that is One Deck Dungeon. It's designed by Chris Chelik and published by Asmati Games. One Deck Dungeon is a small, I will say solo, although you can play it co-op, and I have done it, and it's cool. It's mainly a solo game that I carry with me when I go to these Erasmus Plus projects. And it's my go-to solo game there when I have the free time. In essence, you pick a character, and then you start going through a deck of cards, which is like the dungeon cards, and you have to place dice strategically on them to defeat them in advance. When you defeat an enemy, and this is the cool part of the game, you have some options. You can either take the enemy and make it experience points to level up. You can either take the enemy and add it to the left of your card to make it a new die you acquire so you become stronger. Or you can take the enemy and put it on the bottom of your character to gain a new special ability. That is so cool. That leveling up mechanism, I find it amazing. There's also a campaign mode. I've played it once with the Paladin. I lost in the final boss. I was very sad. That is also very nice. And whenever you defeat a dungeon, you get some XP, and then you use that to go on a character sheet and gain you I think it's very nice. And it does that in a box that's like the size of my snap. It's like super small box, super compact. You can carry it around. Love it, love it, love it. My number 5, One Deck Dungeon.
Nice. It's a 1 to 2 player game. Is it a 1 player game for you, solo game for you, or is it?
No, I've played it. I've played it as a 2 player game with a person that is nothing to do with board games.
Yeah.
My roommate in one of the Erasmus Plus.
Yeah.
And he told me, "Hey man, I've seen you do this thing with the board games. I want to play something. You have something better than the stuff we play."
Yeah.
And I'm like, "Yeah, sure, I have this. You want to try?" Man, he was obsessed.
Oh, okay.
He was waking up in the morning. Nick, can we play? Nick, can we play? I'm like, okay.
Nice.
You know? So yeah, it felt good in 2 players.
Yeah.
The problem is that you don't actually play as 2 players, if that makes sense.
Okay.
You make all the decisions like kind of like together. It's cool, you know.
Okay.
But it's not like
you're not 2 different characters or something like that.
What?
Okay.
Still, it's cool. It's fine.
Yeah.
I think I prefer this.
And is this game like? Would it still be on this spot on your list, like without any expansion or anything?
I don't have any. I have an expansion that just adds more.
Yeah.
I don't have any of the standalone. I do want to get them.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it's on the list without the expansion.
Okay, cool. Nice. All right. Moving into even higher territories. So, 2025, even a newer game. But it's a game we already heard about, though, from Hiroshi Nishimura, and it is National Economy. And just like Nick mentioned, it's a combined version of the 2015, 17, and 19 National Economy games into this one box. And also some of them are revised a bit. So they are
revised, yeah.
So, maybe balancing a bit more on all of that stuff. And I mean, it's just so cool, man. It's just, I think I like when I know from the beginning, when I'm told, by Destiny or whoever tells me in my face, this game won't be easy. You will be losing things, kind of like Moon Colony Bloodbath, right? I'm really, and like, in some other games, you're like, okay, I made 10, 20 buildings. Cool. But in this game, sometimes you're like, man, I managed to keep these 2, 3 buildings. I'm doing so well, And that's an interesting feeling that, you don't necessarily, although I love that too, you don't necessarily need like a huge board with 20 cards now, and you can look and wait, I forgot I have this, whenever I do that, this activates. But you just have these few things that you're thinking about. So yeah, I'm a huge fan. I am still missing to try Glory, which is the last of the 3 in the box, but yeah, very, very nice.
Man, I'm extremely hyped for that game. Yeah, I can only see it going up.
Yep.
My number 4 now, right? Yes. My number 4 is by one of my favorite designers, Ryan Lockett, and it's published by Red Ribbon Games in 2017, and it is Near and Far. Near and Far is a narrative kind of driven worker placement action selection game. You can play it as a single scenario, or you can go through the campaign. It's man. Whenever I go back to this game, I feel so excited and ready to play it. So let's take it slow. The concept is that you take your worker, and you have like this worker placement mini game happening in the town, and then when you're ready, you put your resources, you go out and start exploring the map. When you explore the map, you will read another player will read you a passage. Once he reads that passage, you will make a choice, you will make some dice rolls, and you will get some resources or some other benefits. It is a bit swingy in the way that the narration and the resources work, but I feel like the theme, the actions, the gameplay that you gather, the different resources and the way you spend them, the artifacts, there is this thing where if you don't play your cards, you're going to get penalized. In the beginning of the game, you make a choice which cards you keep. I think it's an amazing game. I think it's from the trilogy. It's my favorite, although I haven't played the third one. And yeah, I just want to dive back into it. I feel like the narrative part, I think, is the thing that's keeping it a little bit down for me. I think it could be like a top, very high game for me if that wasn't so swingy. But yeah, I really love it. And very nice. Near and Far.
Yeah, and I think what you mentioned there is something that's also making me always a little bit unsure about how much do I like it. It can feel some games as, oh man, it's cool and we have a close game, and other games and be like, man, and my
felt that for sure.
and my opponent got all these cool story paths and I'm failing or whatever, right? So, but it's cool and it has some interesting things, and the way the item cards works, I really like. So nice pick. All right. my number 3,
Big 3.
yeah, I think it's the only game on the list that I actually only played once. Yeah. And
Wow, it's 3.
and it's number 3.
Holy
I
moly.
was like, this game is really, really cool. And it is from last year, 2024, and it is Oranges and Lemons. I finally got to try this huge worker placement game, which is not, it is a complex game, but it's not by far the most complex game. It's just that there's so many action spots. And once again, I mentioned it as earlier, just a few games back, that if you have an interesting action selection system, I'm already, halfway there. And the fact that you have this like line where you place your workers, and then let's say Nick, he picked action number 7 and 9, and I picked action number 1 and 2. Then in the next round, I'm picking actions first, since I picked the lower action. And then makes you really think about, not only I want to do this action, but I also don't want to, use all my workers in late actions, because I'm going to be messed up in the next round if I'm picking, and it's just nice. Not pick up and deliver, but there is a bit of, you fulfilling contracts. You can give out loans, which is like super nice. Let's say in other games, it's very normal. You can take loans, but here you can be like, yeah, I'm going to pay 5 money. And from now on in every round, I will get 1 money because I gave a loan to somebody. And just that, I really think it does a lot of cool things. And it just hits a nice spot for, like, I played 4 players, and that was perfect for it, I think. So, yeah, my third pick is Oranges and Lemons.
Well, I have to say it. The name is very uninspiring. I'm not going to lie. Tableau looks very involved, which can be a good or a bad thing.
Yeah.
From what I'm seeing here. I have no idea what the game is, but if it's number 3, if it's above Orloy, then,
Yeah.
oh man, this must be a good game.
Also, sorry, interesting, just because about the name, is an old poem that the name comes from, that is called Oranges and Lemons, and each of the action spots has 2 lines from the poem that then somehow fits what the poem. So it's like Oranges and Lemons is the bells of St. Clements, stuff like that. So that is, I'm not usually like a thematic guy, but I think that was nice.
That is extremely cool. That sounds extremely cool. But yeah, the last thing I wanted to mention is that I see here the player count is 2 to 5. Always a little bit of a negative for me, but nothing too much.
Yeah, I do. I don't remember, but maybe the expansion adds a solo mode. But the expansion is new. It came out this year, and that's why it isn't that you could buy the game. It did fix a component problem. There is like these bills that you place out, so whenever somebody goes and take an action, then you get a benefit, or you get a benefit whenever blah, blah, blah happens, and they were so small. And so in the new expansion box, they just give you bigger bills, and that's always nice. So, yeah.
All right. Excited to try it at some point.
Yep.
All right. My number 3 is an amazing game. I feel like I've been saying that a lot. It's designed by Uwe Rosenberg and published by Lookout Games. This version released last year. The game is from way back, and it is News Your Big Box. News Your Big Box just ticks all of my boxes. It is an amazing solo game. It is an amazing 2-player game. I think I've played it at 3, and it feels great at 3 as well. And it is a very simple worker placement game where you go out in this small village and you fish your way to victory, as I like to say. It's pretty tight, and it's way, way shorter than you imagine it to be. But the decision making in it and the way that your buildings interact with your resources is very interesting. There's this mechanic here that I love. It's called the Elders, if I recall correctly. And there's these cards in the middle of the table that you have to place a worker there to get one. There's only one spot to do so, so that's also pretty. And when you take them, you immediately activate them, but then every turn you need to feed them fish because they come and stay in your village. But in addition, they now become worker placement spots where you can go, and if there are fish available in the tavern to feed them, you can activate them again. That feels nice. I think it's a very good game. I think I need to explore it more. I have this version with a big box with all the different expansion in it, and the expansions are just different decks of buildings that you get to play in with every game. We played a few recently with Ulrich, and it felt very nice for me personally, and I'm really excited to try some of the other decks that I haven't given a go to. My number 3, News Your Big Box.
Nice. Is it one of you? Is it like up towards the top from Uwe Rosenberg for you?
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. I have a lot of Uwe Rosenberg games.
Yeah.
But I think this is one of the better ones.
Yeah. All right.
Sure.
Cool. All right. Then I'm also looking forward to later in the month, of course, with all these games. I played it once with you.
When I first got it, like
Yeah, and it didn't feel bad. It was fine.
Yeah.
But that's the only play I have of it. All right, my number 2. I'm sure we'll hear more about. It's a game from 2014 from Rainer Stockenhaus, and that is Allianz. Really, really nice back building game. I mean, there's a little thing I would like to see. So the game is cool with the, you're picking up, you need to figure out which action spots to use, and also am I maybe even saving something because I can't really fully activate that and I want this and that for next turn. If I would say something, is one of the few games where I do love like super deluxe versions, and I also do love super old beige Europes. I don't always need a deluxe version, but I could see that the map of it is a little bit annoying with that you have to read text and sometimes, and I would love, man, this game to have a screen so that I don't have to actively not look at my opponents while they place their things. But that's minor things, you can get around it. It's a very, very cool game. I want to play it more, and I played it with a guy who's very good at it, and maybe we'll hear more about it. But my number 2 is Allianz.
I just don't like this game, man. I think it's very bad. Nobody should play it. No, I'm just kidding. Maybe we'll hear about it later.
All right.
But for now, let's hear about my number 2 game, a game you've already mentioned, a game that I love, 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 and that is Nations.
Oh, yeah.
You mentioned Nations already. Nations is by far my favorite civilization game, and by far one of my favorite solo games as well, because the solo plays so naturally and feels so clean, and it's just nice. Some of the things in the game are a bit old, let's say, by modern standards, but apart from that, it just feels, I mean, I'm gonna complain. The player board is just a sheet of paper. That's kind of awful, but it doesn't matter that much. Doesn't matter. Yeah, amazing game. I think for a civilization game, it definitely feels like a Euro game, like 100%. And we had something really weird happen the last time we played it. There was a card that ended, I don't know if you remember it. It ended the game prematurely.
Yeah, I remember that.
That was shocking, man. These things exist because I'm not playing a Euro game. I'm playing a civilization game. Of course, these things can happen.
Yeah.
You don't realize because everything is so Euro, and you're like, oh, yeah, that's a civilization game.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was an interesting experience.
Yeah, I remember it. And I mean, it's not often we play these type of games. And Nick was also happy that I wanted to play with him. He's like, what? Ayub? Should we, if you don't like it, we can also play longer. And remember, it came out. You're like, yes, of course. But it was a fun experience.
But yeah, that was my number 2. Let's hear your number 1.
All right. My number 1, although it's a new game, I already got to play it a few times. It was my most anticipated game of the year. Just before we went into 2025, and it is Natera New Beginnings from Eric Fugero and Hugo Tremblay-Ledoux, hopefully, and Horizon Games. I'm pretty sure it's their own company that they made to make this game. It's their first game ever. I met them down in Essen, and they were very passionate about it, and sorry that it was sold in Essen before Baggers got it, and we're so sorry. I was like, it's fine. We don't have room in the car anyway, so I'm happy it's just getting sent to me. It does feel like a Everdell 2.0 for me. The worker placement, you have these cards, you can play them. They have 3 different resource costs, and you just need to pay one of them. So you can be like, okay, I'm generating this card costs this many hearts, but this card over here also costs hearts, so maybe I can pay this card with the brain resource. I don't remember what the resource is called, but it's a actual brain intelligence or something. And then I'm like, oh, okay, but can I get that from some of the worker placement spots? It feels like, you have not more worker placement spots with more players, which feel like, oh, isn't it going to be extremely tight? No, because this worker placement is like the opposite El Grande worker, that your biggest worker blocks the spot for anyone else. But small workers can go to where other small workers are. So it's a little bit funky that, when you place your big worker, you're thinking, well, what do the other players want? And, there are so many spots. But it's cool. It does a lot of cool things. I probably will love to do like a few dive into the game at some point. But very, very cool worker placement. Asymmetrical faction animal game, Natera.
Question.
Yes.
I own and love Everdale. Is there any incentive for me to go ahead and get that game?
Yeah, I don't think the games, although I said for me it's like a point two, I do think they work differently. You know, you have the spots that reveals throughout the games. You have some different goals. It feels sometimes almost more like a terraforming Mars game. You know, where some
Easy.
some players might say pass, and you might keep going because your engine worked with some things. There are different type of cards, and they all, I think, work nicely. You have these. There's a row of cards that cost like a lot of food, but when you come, they do one thing, boom, like a big benefit. And then from now on, you can pay energy to activate them again. And it feels like in my brain, oh, I shouldn't buy many of them. I should use the ones. But food is easy to get. And because they made it so they also activate when you buy them. Okay, I'm going to buy another one. You know, I got a lot of food. Boom. I played with a guy who did that many, many times. And I was like, man, Ulrich, you get so many? I feel like I'm doing nothing on my turn. But yeah, so it's cool. So to answer your question again, now I went off on a side note. Yes, I do think you can definitely get both. Another game in this universe that I think is similar-ish is like Wondrous Creatures, but I'm definitely keeping both Wondrous Creatures and Terra in my collection. So I don't think Everdell and Terra needs to separate each other.
Cool. Interesting. Definitely willing to try it. Now you even threw in a Terraforming Mars comparison. Now you set the bar too high, my friend.
I know.
Now the bar is too high.
Yeah.
And it's a side note as well. I will get sidetracked. It is a sad day. Terraforming Mars is now number 9.
Oh, it fell.
Lost 2 spots in the course of 1 week.
Damn.
Very sad week for
What went up?
the other two.
Okay.
Uprise.
Man, both of them.
Yeah. 5 and 8 now.
Okay.
Anyway, sorry about that. Let's talk about the best NNO game in existence. Objectively.
Subjectively.
Yeah. And that is Orleans, of course, designed by Rainer Stockhausen and DLP Games. Ever since the day I played it, it's been my top 10. Last year, it's dropped out of my top 10 of all time for the first time. And that's mainly because there are so many games. In 2025, I played more games than I've played combined my whole life.
Oh.
It was a crazy year for me.
Nice.
Orleans is amazing. It is a back building game that lets you do a ton of different things. Always happy to play it. I know that now that I've played it so much, it's solved for me. But even so, because I played so rarely, even though it is solved, I can always go back to it and enjoy it. I'm not pretty sure about my opponents. Hopefully they do. I mean, it's number 2, so they kind of do as well. And yeah, definitely willing to play more and definitely willing to try and dive into more of the expansions a little bit more. Love it, love it, love it. My number 1, Orleans. Or Orleans, as I say it.
Are you, there was like a co-op story expansion thing, I think, that came out at some point. Are you interested in that at all? Or are you a little bit afraid that it changes too much? Or
I wasn't interested. Maybe now that I actually have another person living in my house that's 100% willing to dedicate their day in doing that with me, maybe I'll get into it. But there are so many other games and it's ahead, so probably not. Maybe if I find it in a sale for like.
Yeah. And it's another game that I believe doesn't have a solo mode.
It has with one of the expansions.
Okay.
And people say it's really good.
Okay.
And that's the thing that I probably want to get that expansion you mentioned so I can play that.
Okay.
But yeah, once again, there are so many other solo games. So, but yeah, Orleans will always have a place in my heart, a very special.
All right. Cool.
Ooh, did it? Pretty cool.
Yeah.
Did you count?
Yeah. Congratulations, Nick.
5?
Yeah, we have
Nice.
Allianz, we had National Economy, we had Nidavellir, we had New Frontiers, and we had Nations.
Nice. Good to hear.
Yeah, I thought from New Frontiers and Nidavellir, maybe one of them would not be in.
Checks out.
Yeah.
Do you have any honorable mentions that you want to talk?
Yeah, En Masse is it was the first thing I wanted to talk about. You already mentioned it. It's like I said, I think when you have someone that is like so distinct, like Vita Lacerda, it's very hard not to compare his games to his other games.
Yeah.
And then since I like his other ones more, this just drop alone for that kind of. Then some games that I know wouldn't make it, but an all-time favorite little filler is No Thanks for me. And it's just not better than the games I mentioned, but it's just such a little clean system that has a lot of like history value for me. So I think that's also a cool game. And then Neon Fa and Onitama I was even thinking a little bit about. How about you?
3 games that are out of the list because I only played them once, but they were all very nice when I played them. And they are Nova Roma, Newton, and Outlive. All of them offer something that I like, but I've only played all of them once, and even two of them I've now played 5-6 years ago, so I can't, in good conscience, put them in my top 10. But yeah, these were the three that signed. Everything else was below. All My Goods was down there. No Thanks. Nimalia, some of the other things on Itamano. Those that were close.
I
top 10.
I never tried Newton, but whenever I hear about it or I see the game, I'm like, oh, I should try that game soon.
My best gaming buddy from Greece had it.
Yeah.
He was super hyped about it. I just only happened to play it once because once again we had so many games, but yeah.
And is Newton maybe not? Is it Simone Luciani or
It is Simone Luciani?
Yeah, and I mean Simone Luciani has made so many hits for me. So
Yeah.
all right.
Newton is not. I think you would enjoy.
Yeah.
Some of the things might feel a bit outdated. Well, new game
Yeah.
is created, but yeah. Oh, not Simone Luciani. Oh, it is Simone Luciani.
Yeah.
Oh no, we're looking at a different game. Sorry. Okay. Cool. Since today we're only two, we will go back to flying.
Yeah.
And we will do the 5 on the fly. For those of you that don't know what that is, at the end of every episode, we each pick 5 games for the other person, and they have to rank them without knowing what's coming next. Are you ready?
Yes.
Shall I ask you first?
Sure.
Well, now this will be a trip down memory lane.
Okay.
It's a game we played once, I think, together. Maybe more, I'm not pretty sure. And it is a game that another one of our friends loves.
Okay.
We didn't love it. I loved it initially, and then it fell off. And that is Destinies.
Oh. Yeah. Destinies does something for some people that is not Ayub. I can see it's very much, okay, I'm going to go over here. Boom, you listen to some story part. And so for me, it almost feels more like a different type of event more than a game.
Okay.
For me, it's 5.
Oh my God. Okay, that was excessive. What about a game that I'm assuming you want to play more? It's Golden Cup.
I really want to play Golden Cup more. I only played it 2-player, which I imagine is one of the absolute worst player counts of the game. But even there, I had a good time. And back building, fighting against different teams, making a sports team. Yeah, very cool. Oh my gosh. Let's do number 2.
Solid. What about Panda Panda?
All right. So
Panda game is that?
Panda Panda is a small game that when I got Galactic Cruise,
I remember. Yeah.
since it was like, overseas and stuff, you could buy some of the other small games, and I then also just bought a little game just to try, and I mean, people at my work loved it, but it's number 4.
Okay. The next game I didn't know you've tried. Man, wow. It's the Anarchy.
Oh yeah, I tried it with Ulrich way back, not way back. I mean,
way
but
back, it just came out.
when it just came out,
Yeah.
that's my point. So it feels like a long time now when it's pre-Essen. Yeah, that was cool. I think I like Hadrian's Wall more, which is the predecessor of the game. This is tough.
It's 1 and 3 left.
Yeah, that's tough. That's tough. But it is a pretty cool game, and I don't know what's left, so I'm going to put it on 1.
Oh my God. I did not see that coming. What's on 1? It is also a pretty cool game, and coincidentally is a game we talked about today.
Okay.
It was in one of our lists.
Oh, no.
It was in my list.
Okay.
So, better. But it was number 3. And that's
Okay.
Lucior, Big Boss.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
I think my list...
Almost.
No, I actually think it's 100% how I would put it if I saw them all from the beginning.
Okay. Panda Panda above Destiny?
I would rather play Panda Panda tomorrow and Destinies. It's just not for me. I'm not saying Panda Panda is a better game, but I find that better.
All right. Let's
play.
see how well I can fare.
All right. Well, I think the first one is already... No, not heavier than all of them, but most of them, and it is Aeon's End Legacy of Gravehold.
Yeah, of course. Number 1. What are we talking about? Hopefully there's nothing else here. I mean, I love Aeon's End. I can hide it.
All right. Yeah, it was a cool game too. We played through that Legacy game together.
Yeah, very good.
Second one is Dungeon Pits.
It's one of the games that I really can't get behind. I'm sorry if somebody owns it in this exact house that we're recording, but it's one of the games that I played not once, not twice, but thrice, and I still couldn't get behind it. I don't know why. Something about the game didn't click, and I think is it Simone Luciani? Or I think it's not Simone Luciani, it's the Vlada Sivatel Another one of my favorite designers. And I don't know why. Both this and Dungeon Lords I couldn't get behind. Vlada, if you're listening to this, you're probably not. I apologize. I'll put it at number 5.
Yeah, I mean, I never played it, so I don't have anything to add to that. But yeah, I hear very mixed thing of the game in general. All right, next one is it's a big game.
Okay, good to hear.
And is this one of the ones? No, this is Dune Imperium.
Okay. Number 2, of course. I mean, number 1 is taken. Is it Aeon's End? That's a good question. Probably it is. Yeah, definitely number 2. Go ahead and listen to our episode about it. I think it was 57? No, it was barely 55 maybe.
Then your next game is just one word, silver.
What?
Silver.
Oh my god.
I had to double check that it wasn't silver and gold, but
No,
silver gold, yeah.
It's like a werewolf type game where there's this small village and there's werewolf and you need to find him. It was pretty cool the one time I played it, but just a small game. And I've only played it once, so easily number 4.
All right, what's left?
Number 3.
Number 3. Okay, it's a 2-player only game.
Okay.
It's one that
Please.
I used to own,
Okay.
and it is Beer and Bread.
Okay. Man, another game that is supposed to be good but didn't click for me.
Yeah,
I think it has a little bit of the chess problem if people have
I think so too.
even knowledge of the game.
Yeah.
The mechanisms and everything felt cool. It's just that the gameplay experience for me wasn't good. So
yeah.
I'm happy with it being above Silver and not Dungeon Pets. I'm happy with it being below Aeon's End.
Yeah. And I think, yeah, I mean, it's your list. But even for me, that was perfectly explained that it really felt like a game where I'm like, I can only play it with someone that played as much as me then.
2 people that both own it and can play it consistently can play well against each other.
Yeah.
I'm assuming.
Yeah, or a couple that plays it once in a while together. So, but yeah.
All right. Aeon's End, Legacy of Gravehold, Dune Imperium, Beer and Bread, Silver, and Dungeon Pets from me. And The Anarchy, Golden Cup, Noosh Your Big Box, Panza, and Destinies for Ayub. If you don't know what to do with this information, there is a story being posted on our Instagram post episode where you can vote which of the 2 won. At some point in the future, we'll revisit them and have a laugh about it and about how I kicked Ayub's butt. No, I'm just kidding.
My list is good today.
Today, you are looking crisp, I gotta say. Came back very strong. Speaking of Instagram, you can find us there for our snapshots of our game nights. We can find us on Patreon for extra content. Now on our YouTube with a lot of videos. The latest one is the White Castle Duel playthrough that came out yesterday. And you can also find us on Blue Sky for our latest news. Anything else you want to add, Ayub?
No, I mean, I really love love and hate at the same time. Being forced to talk about only games with a specific letter, then hearing you talk about some and then be like, oh yeah, oh, we're both talking about this game. Oh, this game is cool. Maybe we should play National Economy together soon, stuff like that. But yeah, it's Christmas time. I hope you all are playing games out there and let us know.
Yeah, I am very excited. Of course, I work on every single Christmas day, but still I'm very excited to play some cozy games with you guys. As always, thank you all so much for listening. This was Nick.
This was Ayub.
And we'll see you in the next one.